Hi, welcome to this Excel tutorial video, and in this video we're going to talk about the text to columns tool. This video was recorded in March 2021 using Excel 365. So it might happen sometimes that you get sent a lot of data in a format that Excel doesn't immediately format for you. So I've got on screen here a set of data that was provided to me, maybe on a flat file or something as an example, and it is a comma separated list. And when I pasted it into Excel, it has pasted as comma separated text within the column A. So there's nothing in B, there's nothing in C, it's all in column A. And actually I don't want that. I want each of these to be in their own column. So I want Excel to separate this list and put everything into columns like it should be in Excel. Now the way we do this, there's a function or a tool in Excel called text to columns, and let's go through a couple of examples of that. So if I highlight the text that I want to format and I go to data, and within this data tools area here you've got this text to columns. If I press that, I get this new window pop up. Initially there's a couple of options. So first of all, it's saying we can do one or two things here. We can use presume that your data has got a delimiter, or we can say separate it by fixed widths. Now in this example, I want to use the delimited option because my data is delimited by commas. So if I choose next, I then get the question of what is your delimiter. And there are four of the more common, or what Excel presumes is the more common delimiters, and in the one that I want is there. So down here you can see the preview. I've got tab selected. The preview at the minute, it's still all a mess. So if I untick that and I tick comma, the preview will then say, okay, if you're going to use the comma as delimiter, then this is how your text is going to look, and that looks good to me. So right now I'm going to select finish. And it has formatted the data based on me saying it's comma delimited, and if I just check the data, everything looks fine. It's recognized dates correctly, it's recognized text and numbers correctly. That's all good. So let's go through another example. If I go to this here, I've got another set of data, but instead of it being comma separated, it is pipe separated. So if I just select this and just go through the same process, go to text to columns, say that it is delimited, go to next, but it isn't delimited by one of these options, so it's not a comma delimited list. If I go to other, I can then in this little box specify my delimiter, and I'll put a pipe in there, and you can see in the preview it has said, okay, you put pipe in there, I recognize that, and this is how the data is going to look. That's exactly what I want. Click finish, and there is my data formatted exactly as it was in the other sheet. It's recognized the dates correctly, it's recognized the numbers and the text correctly. Perfect. Now let's go through another example here. So instead now I've got my data is tab separated, and you've got customer codes, call IDs, open date and a description column. So let's imagine this is something like a call login system, and I've got this data out and I've put it into Excel, and Excel hasn't recognized the columns. So I need to work with this. So nice and easy, because I know that each of these separators are tabs. However, the slight complication here is that this here is a number, and Excel will look at that and say, that's a number, I don't need the trailing zeros, and it will get rid of them 4 zeros and just have one. Let's do that as an example. Let me show you what I mean. So if I highlight, if I highlight my data fields that I want to format, I go text to columns, and I choose delimited again, and I say it's tab delimited, which is the initial option here. Now it looks all good there. That looks exactly as I want it. So if I click finish, it's done kind of what I wanted, but it's got rid of the 0 at the beginning of this customer ID. It's got rid of all of the zeros here, and also my customer call ID and everything begin at column B. So let me undo that. And let's go through this again and make some slightly different some different choices. So text to columns, delimited still yes. Tab delimited, yes. Here, there, and you can see that looks correct. If we go to next, a couple of things I want to do here. One, I want to change the destination. So I want it all to begin at column B instead of column A. And also here on this column, I don't want Excel to presume what it is. So I don't want it to be general. I want Excel to presume it's text. And in this one, I want Excel to presume it's text. Now if I finish that, actually I expected it. Oh, that's correct in fact. So it's left the data here as it was. But here you've now got the customer IDs, you've got the call IDs, you've got the open dates, and you've got the descriptions. And that's worked perfectly. Now if I do the same thing, it's exactly the same example here. I'm just doing a fourth example. So if we go to text to columns, we choose delimited, and then we'll choose next. So now instead of this, we're going to put a space because that's our delimiter here. We've got spaces as a delimiter. As soon as I do that, the description now ends up not being as I want it. So yes, this column, and this column all look good. The customer, the call ID, and the open. But now it's trying to make columns using the spaces in the description field, and that's not what I want. So let me just cancel that, and we'll start again. We'll go to text to columns, and instead of it being delimited, we're going to say it's fixed width, and I'm going to go to next. Now, Excel's quite clever. So Excel looked at this and thought, looking at the data, Excel thinks that this is one column, this is one column, this is one column, and then all of this is the last column, and that is correct. I can do things. I can alter this. I can double click it to get rid of it. I can select it. I can move it. I can do whatever I need to do. But Excel is usually pretty good at this. So I can look at that and I can, yes, it's correct in this case. Now if we go to next, it's showing us 4 columns, and we can do what we did the last time, and we can say, okay, our first column is text and our second column is text, and I want it all to begin at B. And then we'll choose finish, and it does exactly like it did with the tab, but it's used the spaces, and it knows that in here this is all one column, so it's ignored the spaces in this lot. That's the end of this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you've got any questions, any comments, please leave them next to this video. If you like it, put the thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe, it's all good. Thanks very much.